Hello everyone, today's video, my top 5 plans for evergreen structure and colour in a tropical or jungle garden. First off would be palms. Now in the UK there's quite a variety of cold hardy palms available to us, but most common are Trachycarpus, like this waggy palm here, or the Fortunii I've showed in other videos. They're tall, so give structure to the garden. They don't get affected by cold, or definitely not the usual winters we have nowadays, and take very little care, grow quickly, and definitely fit in well with the other tropical planting. You can see here they can be used as a backdrop for other more tender or summer planting, or they can be used as focal points, features in their own right. This is a feather palm, which aren't as hardy as the fan palms in most of the UK, but they're still definitely a viable choice for most areas. Whilst we don't quite have the same amount of options as warmer countries or tropical areas, we can still grow quite a few palms in the UK that differ from bluer leaves like this Brahea armata, another fan palm with steely silver leaves, to the darker greens of the waggy and the volcano or volcano palms, to the olive green angular leaves of this Jubea chilensis, Chilean wine palm. There's definitely a lot of options in terms of colour, eventual size, structure and architectural impact of the palms that we can grow in the UK. Second choice will be bamboos. Now I grow lots of different varieties here in the garden, some runners, some clumpers, and I'll look at the differences in a future video. But as a choice for an evergreen garden, I think they're fantastic. They give instant height, especially if planted a bit larger like this. You've got that all year in interest, beautiful coloured culms, and also the graceful foliage, which gives a bit of shade, but not as deep as a big tree. They're good for screening views, like here from the garage, or for acting as a backdrop for other planting. There's a windbreak, like these Fatsia Robusta campbells. These are only been planted fairly recently, but they'll soon fill out. Every year they tend to either double in size or get pretty close to that. Then you have striking blue, yellow, green varieties like this, which have the stature, size, and definitely impressive appearance that they work as a specimen plant by themselves. For my third choice, I'm going to cheat and put Cordylines Phormiums together. They both have similar strap-like, bold architectural foliage. Cordylines tend to grow from a single stem, which develops into quite a large trunk. They can split and branch over time, and they're generally available in greens, tipped with yellows, or purples like this, purples and reds. Whereas phormiums are more clump-forming plants, you can get smaller varieties that grow to about a foot, foot and a half, 50 centimetres tall, to real big 10x forms that grow 3-4 metres high. You can get a lot of different colours, right through from reds, purples, through to yellows, pinks, oranges. They generally vary in hardness like the Cordylines, and the rule is the more colourful it is, chances are the less hardy it is. Whilst they are relatively common these days, I do think Cordylines and Phormiums have a well-deserved place in a UK exotic or jungle garden, just wanting to create year-round impact. They grow quickly, they don't need a lot of care, and I think they help emulate the sort of bright colours of the tropics, but in a plant that will take our UK climate very well. For my fourth choice, I'm probably going to cheat again and say tree ferns, specifically Dicksonia Antartica, which is the most commonly available and hardiest sort we can grow in the UK. Now, they're not technically an evergreen. If there's a cold winter, the fronds in the previous year will brown and die off, but most mild winters that we tend to have this past few years, they will survive through to the spring and give amazing sort of green interest through the winter months. I don't think there's a single plant that gives that exotic vibe quite the same impact as a tree fern. The Dicksonias especially need very little winter protection, put a bit of straw in the crown. If there's cold, between sort of like freezing and -3 forecast, they might get wrapped up if it gets much colder than that, but in most winters they tend to be absolutely fine with nothing. I think they work very well with tropical planting, with the banana plants in the summer, and also with more native ferns, bamboos, and they definitely give an exotic vibe to a shady corner like this. The fifth choice would be Fatsias. The sort I grow here is mainly Fatsia Japonica spider's web, which has this amazing white detailing in the leaves. They are very hardy. They might get a little bit of frost damage at the tips, like we see here, but they grow pretty quickly, soon bounce back, and they will get to a pretty big size over time. They're a good plant for the back of the borders, I think. You can plant them and pretty much leave them to do their own thing. They do appreciate a bit of shade. We don't want to be dried out too much. But again, like the Phormiums, they're just good, reliable colour without needing a lot of special care. Okay, so I've already chosen 5, but I think there's room for one more bonus choice, and mine would be the Schefflera Taiwaniana. They're a lovely evergreen. This is quite a wide leaf form, got beautiful glossy green leaves. They are relatively hardy, certainly for most of the UK. They grow pretty quickly, and I think they add a certain sort of exotic grace to the canopy. Definitely a plant that looks like a houseplant that shouldn't thrive outside, but they seem to manage just fine. Thank you for watching.